You are probably incredibly excited about the upcoming DJI Avata 360. And honestly, you absolutely should be. It is a technological marvel. There is no denying that DJI has built something genuinely new and highly impressive. But before you pull out your credit card and hit that pre-order button, we need to have a serious talk. Before the hype takes over completely, I want to be brutally honest with you about some major concerns that nobody else in the tech space is talking about right now. I had these exact same types of concerns before the DJI Neo 2 launched. Everyone called me crazy back then, but those concerns turn out to be 100% right. Now, I'm seeing the exact same warning signs with the Avata 360. Today, I'm going to share exactly what is on my mind before launch day. I want to put this out there right now, so you can judge for yourself if this new drone is actually worth your hard-earned money. And I genuinely want your opinion on this, because where you stand on these issues might be completely different from where I stand. This debate is highly worth having right now. Let's start with a massive issue that is completely flying under the radar in all the early coverage. The DJI Avata 360 is big. It is really big. We know it weighs approximately 375 grams. When you put it right next to the Avata 2, the Neo 2, or even the Mavic 4 Pro, it is noticeably larger than anything else in its immediate comparison set. But more importantly, it is significantly larger than its only real competitor in the 360 drone category. If you put the Avata 360 next to the Insta360 Anti-gravity A1, the difference in size is absolutely stark. The A1 folds up. When it is packed away, it becomes genuinely compact. It is small enough to literally fit inside a jacket pocket. You can easily throw it into a backpack without dedicating any significant space to it. That folding form factor is one of the strongest practical advantages of the A1. But the Avata 360 does not fold at all. It uses a fixed frame design. This is very similar in philosophy to the Neo 2. Because of this rigid design, it is going to take up real, valuable space in your camera bag. For creators who travel light, who hike to remote locations, or who need their drone to be as invisible as possible in their daily kit, this is a genuine, unavoidable consideration. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You might say that the 375-gram weight class is not a problem where you live because of local drone laws. That is completely fair. For most people, the regulatory weight threshold is entirely manageable. But size and portability are a completely separate conversation from the legal weight class. Even if 375 grams is legally fine for your specific region, carrying a bulky drone of this size every single day is a very different physical commitment than carrying something that folds completely flat. This might not sound like a big deal to you sitting at home right now, but it might matter a whole lot more than you think once you are actually packing your bags for a trip and fighting for every inch of bag space. Now, let us move on to the second major issue. This is the battery concern. This is the one flaw I just keep coming back to, and it is a big one. DJI will most likely advertise somewhere between 25 and 28 minutes of total flight time for the Avata 360. I do not believe for 1 second that this is what most people will actually see in real-world flying conditions. Let me explain my reasoning behind this. Based on recent data leaks visible during an actual test flight, the calculated real-world flight time sits at approximately 18 minutes. The data showed 74% battery remaining with exactly 13 minutes and 28 seconds left on the clock. Simple math points to an 18-minute total flight time. That was recorded on a real unit, flying in real conditions. Now, I want you to compare that to the situation we saw with the Neo 2. DJI heavily advertised 19 minutes of flight time for the Neo 2. But when real-world users got their hands on it, active usage landed at roughly 11 minutes for most people. The gap between the advertised number and the real number was massive and very disappointing. Yes, the Avata 360 battery is larger than the Avata 2 battery, but you have to remember what this new drone is actually doing. The Avata 360 is running dual image sensors. It is doing real-time 360-degree video stitching. It is doing high-resolution recording. It is running omnidirectional obstacle sensing, LiDAR systems, and high-speed video transmission all at the exact same time. That is a massive processing load placed on top of the standard flight motors. Every single one of those complex systems is pulling power from the exact same battery. My honest prediction is that DJI will advertise 25 to 28 minutes, but real active flying will land somewhere between 17 to 19 minutes for most people. It might even be less if you are pushing the drone hard in windy conditions. Here is where the situation gets really interesting. One viewer recently pointed out something brilliant. They noted that an 18-minute flight time is almost a joke when you compare it to the Insta360 Anti-gravity A1. The A1 delivers around 35 minutes of real flight time from a promised 39 minutes. You're looking at half the battery life in a DJI drone that is significantly larger and heavier. That comparison is very uncomfortable for DJI, and it is worth sitting with for a moment. The A1 manages 35 minutes of real flight time while staying entirely under the 250-gram limit. Meanwhile, the Avata 360 delivers roughly half of that flight time in a much larger package. Now, to be fair, there are technical reasons for that gap. The A1 is a simpler system. It has less processing load, less transmission capability, and fewer obstacle avoidance features. The engineering priorities are just different. So the comparison is not entirely apples to apples. But from the perspective of a consumer standing out in a field wanting to capture footage, flying for 35 minutes versus flying for 18 minutes is a massive difference. It creates a completely different shooting experience. I also want to quickly flag something else before you get your hopes up. If you're thinking about just buying an extended aftermarket battery for the Avata 360 later on, do not count on it. We saw this happen with the Neo 2, where third-party batteries save the day. I do not think that is going to happen easily here. The Neo 2's aftermarket battery worked because the battery slot was easily accessible, and the shape allowed a larger cell without ruining the drone's aerodynamics. But the Avata 360 is a true 360-degree drone. The dual fisheye lenses capture absolutely everything around the drone, and that includes the physical battery area. If you put an aftermarket extended battery in there that changes the physical shape or profile of the drone, it is going to appear in your 360 footage. It is going to ruin the seamless stitching. It is simply not a clean or easy solution. Unless DJI magically releases their own higher capacity battery that perfectly fits the exact same slot, the battery life you get on launch day is the battery life you'll have to live with forever. Here's my honest take on both of these major concerns. A lot of people are going to be completely fine with them. When it comes to the size, if you already have a dedicated, large drone backpack and you mostly drive directly to your shooting locations, the bulkiness of the Avata 360 is a total non-issue for you. You will just carry it, fly it, and go home happy. When it comes to the battery, if you only shoot in very short, focused sessions, this might not bother you either. If you buy 2 or 3 extra batteries for your kit, and 18 minutes per battery is enough time to grab your shots, then the battery question answers itself. A lot of people were angry about the Neo 2 battery, but many others said it was perfectly fine for quick selfie shots. For casual, creative flying, 18 minutes might be perfectly acceptable to you. But I want to know exactly what you think. The bulky size and the short battery life are my 2 biggest pre-launch concerns. I might be completely right about these flaws, or I might be overthinking it. The drone is not in my hands just yet. But very soon, that changes. The absolute first thing I'm going to test is the real-world battery life in active flight conditions. That number is going to tell us everything we need to know. I'm going to compare it directly to the Insta360 A1 in the exact same location with the exact same flying style to give you the honest truth. So drop down into the comments right now and let me know your thoughts. Is the large size and the 18-minute battery life of the Avata 360 acceptable to you? Or is it a complete deal breaker? If you currently own the Insta360 A1, I especially want to hear from you. Does having half the flight time change your mind about buying DJI? Tell me where you stand, because I love reading your opinions. If you liked this video and found this honest breakdown helpful, please subscribe to the channel, share this video with your fellow creators, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Stay tuned, and I will see you in the next one.